Hello everybody and welcome back to Path of Exile 2. As you can see, we've made a little bit of change to the old hideout here. I decided I wanted to kind of readjust things more because I wanted to be able to be down here closer to the water so I can see the water. But as I did all of that, I just kind of did a bunch of symmetrical layout. I moved the well up here and put the Aweigh statue in the middle of it because it seemed like the best place to put that, and then did a bunch of symmetry stuff here. But yeah. For those of you who don't care about the hideout, I'm not going to go into too much detail on that. This is what it looks like now. Cool. Today's episode, we're going to be using our Infernalist Minion Witch, which is basically Rax and Terex's build that I've been using to do this. I'm not a big fan of the Minion builds right now, not just because of the things that they fixed from before. That's great. Realistically, until we get Convocate, Minion builds are going to be kind of annoying for me. So I don't really want to spend too much time messing around with these Minion builds. But I am kind of, again, in a drought of maps right now. So for these lower level tiers, I figure I might as well level her up while we're kind of trying to build back up into what we had before. So I'm going to go ahead and take this guy here, add this here to get a little bit more. Oh, never mind. Yeah, I was hoping we would get that, just so we can get a little bit more in the way of maps. And then I'm more or less just kind of going around and trying to grab as many maps as we can. So let's go ahead, head over to the Savannah here, and see how it goes. I'm going to be sticking, ideally, with my intent of just doing one map a day as far as recording goes, because, you've seen one map, the next map's just going to look the same. So no point in doing 2 or 3 maps on camera just because there's no new content in that. You get to see, for those people who haven't seen any of the content, you get to see the whatever build I'm doing in action on a map. And then you're like, if you're like me, you're more or less done watching that particular video for the day. So I figure there's no point in continuing to record after the first map because you're not really getting anything new out of it. And we have a little ways to go before we're going to be ready for Citadels because kind of got our butts handed to us when we went in there the last time. So yeah, not a big fan of that. If you're wondering how this build works, the general premise is the skeletal arsonists, which you see throwing these massive numbers of grenades, are our primary damage dealing source. We're throwing down walls of fire so that we're adding fire damage. Ooh, ow, ow. We're adding fire damage to the grenades as they pass through the firewall, and then everything just kind of dies. But it doesn't die fast enough for me, so I'm just the damage for the minions isn't really high enough for it to be fun for me, because it's look how long it's taken us to kill this stuff. Like my other builds would have just decimated this stuff already. So it's highly survivable. My other characters probably would have just died right there where you saw me almost die, but this character is able to survive pretty well. But the sacrifice you make for that is that the damage isn't exactly the best in the world. Now, I'm sure, as the character levels up and I get access to more skill points and maybe upgrade my gear a little bit more, the damage will increase, but I wouldn't hold my breath. I also would like it if they would just focus fire on wherever I'm clicking, like they're supposed to. They seem like they're kind of supposed to. It feels like the responses to my stuff tends to try to do that, but it doesn't really do a good job. I just have too much going on right now. It's the other thing I don't like about this particular build is just the lack of visual clarity is a lot. It's bad. With my firewalls all over the place, and then the enemies dropping AoE stuff, it gets visually busy really fast. And this guy right here is just regenerating life, so I really need my guys to just focus fire on him, get him down, because this is going to take forever with him regenerating that way. Yeah, like we're not, like my guys are too busy. I have no control over what they're attacking. So my guys end up fighting all this other stuff, and the thing I want them to go after is they're just sitting there not doing anything with them.
Obey me.
Like, yeah, here we go. Now they're finally focusing fire on him. There's a button, there's like a direct button that you can tell them to do things, but it doesn't really seem to work very well. Like they don't always respond to what I'm trying to, what I want them to do. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I'm just not a big fan of this build very much. I'm not much of a fan of this build. I'm not sure how much longer it'll remain in the rotation. I may even delete the character like I did my other builds that I'm just not really particularly interested in. But we've killed what? Hold on, I can't. I want to look at my inventory really quick, but I can't because all of my minions died. All right. We've killed several rares already and still have no maps to show for it. So for those of you trying to tell me that there isn't a Waystone problem, there's a Waystone problem. There's a Waystone drop problem, and it needs to be addressed. I should realistically, especially with a 200% drop, increased Waystone drop chance, I should be getting a Waystone with pretty much every rare that I kill. Every single one. Almost every single one. Maybe not every single one, but almost every single one. There should not be these periods of drought where the RNG just screws me over and I get nothing. There needs to be consistency in the drops with the Waystones, and then, I don't know. Some people think that because they're having a decent experience of it, that means that everybody's should be having a decent experience. And it's like, no, anything that involves RNG is always going to have some people who get really, really good luck and other people who do not. And with something as important as Waystones, that should not be based off of how lucky you are. And if you wanted to play the magic find, the rarity game or whatever, that's fine. But that should still only apply to items. It should not apply to Waystones. That's the access that you need to get to actually play the game. That's not something that should be dependent on whether you're willing to give up a gear slot to have a better chance of grabbing it. Cool items, cool currency, sure. You can make that argument, but Waystone should not be something that you have to worry about. It should just be something that happens. At least we'll level up here pretty soon, it seems like. Oh, finally! A map dropped. Yet another rare that has not dropped the map. The map dropped off of something else. You see what I'm saying? Like, this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. Rares should be consistently dropping maps. Maybe not every single rare, but I should not have killed, what? We've killed like 5 or 6 rares at this point. Not a single one has dropped a map. Not a single one. That's a problem. That's a problem. I don't want to hear the words magic. I don't want to hear the words magic find. I don't want to hear the words rarity. That is not something that should apply to Waystones. It just should not. Okay, I don't remember specifically. I think we finished that here. Oh, yeah, we were working our way. Oh, I need to find a jewel to put in there. I think we were working our way up this side here because we get increased block chances, which is going to help us. Oh, yeah, maximum energy shield. Heck yeah, I'll take that. Okay. I didn't pull up the guide right now because I didn't realize we were going to level, and realistically, you know, we're not going to level up again on this map, so we'll just leave it off and just use the ones that I was relatively certain where we were going to go. I'll try to remember to put a gem in there. Some gems can make an absolutely massive difference. Most of the time, gems make a marginal difference. So I will definitely go and find a damage dealing gem of some sort to put in there to increase minion damage or something like that. But I'm not going to like waste a portal to go do that right now. So, but then again, the other side of that is that I have a terrible memory. So odds are by the time we get to the end of this, there's a reason it's empty right now, and it's because I forgot to do it when I noticed it before. Because guaranteed, when I was putting points in, I noticed that it needed a gem, and I still forgot to put one in. So that's just how it goes. Some of us have attention problems, and Oh, good. So now we're waiting for minions to respawn. They really need to fix the timer on the minion respawn thing. It's ridiculous that we have to wait. The timer resets every time something dies, and then you have to wait for them all to be able to come back, and then all of a sudden your DPS comes back, but you have to sit there for, like, you know, sometimes like 15 or 20 seconds because the timer just keeps restarting. That's a problem. Each of these guys needs to have an individual timer on them. That's it. That's the only correct answer in this situation. I don't care if it's hard to do programmatically. Figure it out. You're the developer. Figure it out. There is no justification for forcing us to have to run around and wait for for the entire group to come back all at once. That doesn't make any sense. Okay, like here we go again. We gotta fight through some energy shield, I guess. Did we kill the rare? Oh no, he teleported over here. Alright. Alright, I think that might be the second boss that has dropped a Waystone in all of the bosses that we've killed so far. Yeah, something else dropped a Waystone. But, you know, I want Waystones to drop. I'm not going to complain that Waystones drop, but it's just, you know, the things that should be dropping Waystones aren't, and the things that aren't necessarily expected to drop Waystones are. And that's kind of ridiculous. So, don't try to tell me there's not a problem with Waystone drops. There's a problem with Waystone drops. Okay. How much more of this map do we have left to do? This is just, it's such a slow build. Like, it's pretty survivable, but it's just so slow. Like, I can pop up the sacrifice thing, but then I have to sacrifice a dude to do that. I guess we need to start doing that, because it's taking so long to kill anything here. Every time something dies, it goes right back to 6 seconds, and then you have to just sit here and wait until everything comes back, and then all of a sudden you get your DPS back. I'm sorry, I can't agree with that being a correct way to make that work. This doesn't make sense. We dedicate spirit to this stuff. So I shouldn't have to recharge or you know, there shouldn't be a restart on the respawn for these guys. It should just be they come back after a set period of time after they're dead. It's really annoying that you end up coming to a standstill because your minions died, and then what? Like, I'm ready for the little marker to tell me where the boss. Okay, so there's more bosses up here. I'm just gonna run up here and hope that my guys respawn, because I don't want to fight through the rest of this stuff. It takes so freaking long. Oh, there was a boss here. I forgot about that. All right, we gotta clear this part out. It just takes so freaking long, you know. This build is just so slow. It's unreasonably slow. I would imagine for a hardcore build, it's probably great. But when death doesn't really have any consequences, I'm like, I'm ready. Like, can we just go, please? I missed. Ow, that hurt. That hurt more. Can't see anything, can't really know what's going on. Alright, well, we were able to get it done, but yeah, it's such a slow build. I mean, 16 minutes for one freaking map. Ugh. Like, we need convocation. Convocation will speed up the feeling of this a lot. Not because the damage is going to be that much higher, but because when you can just run into the middle of a group, convocate, have everything spawn right next to you, and then you can just concentrate your damage on something. That's what I would do in the first game. And just the way it works now is just like, ugh. You feel like you're dragging this massive weight behind you. But anyways, it is what it is. Tomorrow we'll do a different character, and hopefully it'll be a little bit faster and a little bit more enjoyable. But thank you very much for watching. Be sure to click the like button, subscribe to help us reach 10,000 subscribers. Join as a member for early access to videos, among other perks, or you can just leave YouTube's version of a tip with that thanks button. I also have PayPal and Patreon links in the description if you prefer to go outside of the YouTube economy to support the channel. So again, thank you very much for watching. Be sure to come back for our next casual mapping video, and I'll see you then.